Burning.
I was gonna say either burning or drowning's pretty bad too.
Burning.
Watching someone else be killed and then you die. Sorry, I've been watching too much Sons of Anarchy. Sorry.
Drowning. Drowning.
Suffocation. But that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being drawn and quartered isn't really pleasant. I don't know, anything that's slow. Drowning seems horrifying. I don't like the. I mean, death in general is just not great. I mean, falling. That's usually not a good way to die.
If you're guilty of committing something big and you regret it, let's say if you committed a murder or did something that's not right, and you have that guilt when you die, I think that would be the worst way to die, because if
probably in a fire.
The worst way to die, probably. See, it's sad because I want to answer in a really boring manner.
Give us both.
But I don't think like dying in your sleep and being happy in your bed. I don't think that's a bad one, but I would rather die doing something very exciting and adventurous.
You know, I don't really know too much about it, actually.
Okay.
As a motive of what? That's kind of horrible. Like, as a motive of death, crucifixion. When they like nail your hands and feet to the pole and you like hang there until you die.
So I think it's absolutely horrible, terrible, just the idea of it, because I wouldn't want to do that, and I wouldn't want that anyone on the planet to have to go through that. You know, that's it. So,
I agree.
I think of it as you know, just standard, like, you know, nails through your wrists and feet. Sorry, it's been a while since I've actually, you know, looked up crucifixion, but you know, essentially being nailed onto some structure. You know, I mean, the cross is like the most prominent example ever.
What comes to mind when I think of crucifixion? I think of exactly what happens, because I've had to read, well, not had to, I actually enjoyed reading it, but the case for Christ and stuff like that. So talking about what happens to your body, what happens to your body through the whole process. So when I think of crucifixion, I think of literally the post and the ground, and I think of how they nail you to the like horizontal piece, and how it's not actually through the palm of your hands, it's through your wrist, and just the process of how you have to, once your feet are nailed, press up just to keep breathing, and how you basically suffocate. And I think of a lot of things.
Crucifixion, well, I think that's a horrid way to look at, to kill someone, because at a religious point of view, they used it back in the days to severely torture, for example, Jesus and like the other criminals. It's a very slow and painful way to die, and
He was crucified. I know it's because he was believed to have committed religious acts against the Jewish church, and so the Jewish church ended up crucifying him.
I've never actually been to church, nor have I taken a religion course, but I just think of his suffering and his death as maybe his way of, I don't know, maybe him coming back and like trying to help us or something. It's like
people actually believed in Jesus, watched him like slowly and painfully fade away, so that would be really painful emotionally and physically. So watching someone die slowly is like watching your faith die out slowly. So that has a connection with both the morality of it.
I think they made it to be like a symbol that even though like a bunch of wrong has been done, a bunch of wrong may still be being done, there's like a way out, and there's like people willing like to either help you or to suffer like with you or along with you to get you through whatever you need to.
Giving of yourself, just that even if like wrong is done, like people still will give of themselves to make it better for others.
Awesome.
I believe that through the cross, through Jesus dying on the cross, that he has conquered sin and death, and by his dying and resurrecting, he has shown that there is no power over death or sin anymore over us, and that when we choose to follow him and believe in him, that we too can have that resurrection with him, as long as we choose to accept that death with him as well, and dying to ourselves and putting on his life for ours. So
essentially, it's like I think that's a lot of the focus that I kind of learned was basically the opposition to what he taught, and how he really took more of a passive, as far as I know, more of a passive stance on, even on his own impending death.
Shit.
Wasn't it the day that like Jesus sacrificed himself for our sins? That's all I know. I'm not really like big into the religion thing, but I think that's some part in it, right? That's pretty much all I know. And I think what it's trying to say is that I guess we should be grateful for his sacrifice and not sin anymore, so he wouldn't be like in vain. That's my translation of it. But I feel that humans are born to sin anyway. So.
Right. I read parts of the Gospel of John. Well, actually, I read the majority of it. And basically, I feel like this is what I read, so I'm not really sure about what the majority of Christians believe. But I read that Jesus was like, yo, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this, and didn't have a problem with it, but all his Gospels are just like, oh, you're going to die, don't, I'm really sad. But he's like, nah, it's cool, you guys are going to be okay. And then that happened, and it seemed to work out because he came back, a few days later, and he came out of the cave, and I was like, oh my God, I thought you were passed away. But he's like, no, it's okay, I was just doing this miracle to show you.